Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty kind of big drama, I would go and say over here, when it comes to some of the big upcoming PlayStation 5 games. We also do have the brand new Gamescom all announced is coming out as of tomorrow as well, which I'm pretty excited for. If you guys for some odd reason don't already follow up the Twitch, feel free to apply to a little co-stream, or if there's any really big news, I'll make sure to cover it up on the YouTube, so obviously make sure you guys are subscribed for that. And as well as some other kind of big news just in general gaming stuff. There's a really big game that got canceled that I'm really upset about. Some pretty big brand new news in regards to Gamescom and some early leaks coming out for that. And as well, just like I said, some pretty big PlayStation dramas. We're going to start off with that one first and foremost. So make sure you guys are subscribed, notifications on, Twitter and Twitch stream down below, and leave a like and your thoughts and comments down below, and let's go and dive into the video itself. So very first and foremost, we have some pretty big news when it comes to Baldur's Gate. Now, there was a really big kind of speculation and drama going on. If you guys do or do not know, and I'm going to take this back, when I first saw Baldur's Gate kind of be like announced and teased and everything else, I kind of thought the game was not going to be like the Starfield killer. Like, I thought Starfield itself was like such a big brand name behind it with Bethesda. Basically just everyone was excited for it, talking about it, and everything else in between. And I thought there was almost going to be any bit of all comparison. If you guys remember those videos, I'm owning up to this, because I myself have played Baldur's Gate. I put many hours into it so far, and it's been a really good game. If not, in all honesty, probably might be my game of the year. So I want to go and kind of backtrack to that and say, hey, Baldur's Gate had a massive performance on Steam, is going to probably be doing phenomenal on PlayStation as well, with how many people are talking about the game, how good the game is, the memes, and everything in between. That game is going to be going well. But a lot of folks are actually worried. People were really worried about the PlayStation 5 port, and some folks were assuming on many different things. Number one, that the game itself might have actually been delayed. So people were assuming like, hey, there's maybe a lot of issues, porting issues, and everything else in between, that the game itself may have actually been pushed back. Now, part two of that is also, some people are maybe curious about maybe there being bugs or issues, or maybe just like the cross performance from PC to PS5 being harder, because it is technically slightly different, more so central controls. Like, you can kind of do the same things when it comes to like the PC version, or as well, even plug in controllers, but if you have to think about it, like the standardization versus keyboard and mouse versus a controller is slightly different. So there's like a few little small, in my opinion, big details that have to be somewhat sorted out and made sure they're working well. And obviously, there's just different systems, platforms, different bugs. When it comes to PCs, they're a lot more customizable. Like, you have to be more fine-tuned with the optimization for the PlayStation 5. I'm sure you guys know the difference between a PC and a PS5 game. But so people were worried. People were actually really stressed about the PS5 port, because don't forget, this game is also almost kind of set to go and, well, have to battle with Starfield itself. But thankfully, right now, Larian Studios' director of publishing actually pushed back now, has actually made a few different types of comments, because there's also even issues apparently with preloading dates for the Starfield and also Baldur's Gate on the PS5, and as well like all those other various issues that people are trying to chime up and be like, hey, is the game even going to work? Is there going to be any game-breaking bugs, etc. Now, I want to remind you guys, on PC, it ran phenomenally. I've barely seen any bugs, besides like the occasional funny bug. Like, let's say you're fighting someone, they fly across the screen. Like, I've had the very small amount of stuff like that. But like, the game itself is good. There's so much interactive and so many things in the map. It's really hard for them to make it perfect, but it's turned out really well. So basically, Baldur's Gate 3 is set to release on the PS5 on September 6th, which is the same day that Starfield finally comes to PC and the Xbox Series X and S. This has led to some fans to compare the games, especially Xbox players disappointed that Baldur's Gate 3 isn't releasing on the platform anytime soon due to the more so development issues with the Xbox Series S. Which I'll be honest with you guys now in like a post thought, where it almost kind of seems like Xbox really kind of did mess up on that one, because this game was a way big sleeper hit that people are, well, in all honesty, didn't really expect. Like, I kind of expected the game to be a fun niche game. I think maybe like Divinity, which Divinity was a very good, well-made game, although it was very niche. It's like a role-playing game. It's a little bit of a slower pace game. But yeah, that's why I was even kind of skeptical on Baldur's Gate's proper release, and I was very surprised in it blowing up as much as it has. And I think Xbox right now is losing out on a massive revenue stream. Now, I don't necessarily think that Starfield's going to be smaller now, but I think if you did the combination of the PS5 launch and PC launch, Baldur's Gate 3 will be bigger than both. My call. I think that almost seems true. Like, if you guys actually look at the statistics, Baldur's Gate has been a phenomenal, huge game, massive concurrent player bases. The sales are off the rockers, and that's without even having console sales so far. Now, I do think Starfield's going to be a good game. Don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be a phenomenal game. I'm going to play Starfield. I'm going to hopefully like Starfield. I'm not a Starfield hater. But yeah, I think Xbox got to drop the ball by having these weird limitations when it comes to the Xbox Series S. So one Xbox fan who tried to use the two games preload dates as well also claimed that Baldur's Gate 3 was in trouble because it prompted actually response even from these actual executives who then provide a good reason for them waiting to push out the game. So fans have to wait a little bit longer for Baldur's Gate 3 preload date for consumer-friendly reasons, which is actually good. Now, a lot of folks are worried about this. A lot of folks, like I said, were curious on like if it's going to be like release date issues or anything else. And then basically the conversation started over here when we saw this tweet from Astronix pointed out that Starfield is available to preload on Xbox, while Baldur's Gate 3 on PS5 is not until August 31st. The user draw the two conclusions from this, that basically Starfield is quote-unquote more ready for its release next month, and Baldur's Gate 3 PS5 must be running into some issues. So you can kind of see the actual tweet itself over here, where you can see Starfield is more ready than Baldur's Gate and PS5. You see this over there, like the pre-launch over here, August 17th, August 30th, which is also my birthday, and as well as have all this stuff over here for August 31st, and the early access at the 2nd, and all of that. And they basically say they both have the same release date. Is there seems something like there's going to be trouble over here? It seems so. And then, funny enough as well, we also have Chrome over here saying the director of publishing at Lawrence Studios, the guys who make the game, stating, we want people to have the latest patches because that seems like the consumer-friendly thing to do. It's not very complicated. And now, I don't want to say this guy rose to this dude, but like that's a pretty good, strong PR comment that's essentially like, hey, you're reaching. Don't, like, bro, we just want to make sure the game is good. We want to make, people are excited for this game. People are going to play this game. We will make sure it's good. We're just going to give you guys, like, we want to maybe have that last, like, 2 weeks to fine-tune everything, because there might be that 1 or 2 extra bugs. We want to make sure everything runs well. We want to maybe that extra 1 or 2 days to make sure, like, the actual files themselves are uploaded perfectly and there's no major bugs. We want to test it maybe on our dev devices. We just want to make sure the game itself is good. And it's kind of funny, too, because their first response was also did you succeed to achieve 60 FPS on PS5? And, yeah, well, people are kind of curious on this, too, as well. So, basically, people are kind of popping this off because they're, like, kind of curious and listen, talk about the takes as well. But that is one nice thing. So, the whole kind of big drama on this one is that people were worried. I think I've even seen some people ask about this because the people have been curious if it's going to be running good, my thoughts on Baldur's Gate, etc., etc. I've seen some tweets, Twitch comments on it, and I think this is actually very nice. Like, they're trying to make sure the game is going to be as smooth as possible for when the game does go and launch, and at the end of the day, like, this is kind of a nice clapback. It's not rude. Like, I don't think this person was trying to be too rude, I hope. It may have been a little bit of console war baiting. I'm not really super sure in this day and age. Some people are just dumb on Twitter. I don't know. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. But, like, yeah, this is a big thing to note that, like, these devs, they seem strong. They seem like they're like, we know what we want to do. We know the scheme. We know the plan. We're going to do it. So we're going to make sure it happens. So I like this. Like, this is a very good response from them. So because Baldur's Gate 3 is right out on PC and is already receiving updates, the developer chose to start the preloads a little bit closer to the game release over here to ensure PS5 players get the most up-to-date version. In the week since its release, Baldur's Gate 3 has actually received 4 hotfixes so far to make the game better, like balancing changes, fix issues that cause it to crash, and more. And there probably is still going to be a few other various things as well tied on in, but at the same time, too, this will be very good. They also say they promise patch priority, which is also kind of tied to as well with this, between different versions of the game to ensure fans have an equal experience regardless of what they're playing. So I'm extremely hyped up for Baldur's Gate. I mean, I've been playing up on PC. I'm going to probably keep it on PC, Xbox. I'm excited for Starfield. I'm going to be probably playing Starfield when it comes out. I'm also pretty hyped up for the game. I'll probably be playing both. Like, they're both phenomenal games. I have, like, no kind of quarrels on them. But it's very nice to go and see these devs kind of clap back and let people know, like, hey, yo, like, don't reach, don't be dumb. The game is good. And don't forget, this isn't like, they just want to make sure everything's all just on top of their stuff. Now, some other little side things, too. We also have the Gamescom coming on tomorrow. Like I said, if you guys want to go follow the Twitch stream, I'll probably do like a nice, like little 2-3 hour stream or so. They have a 2-hour live showcase. I'll probably do a nice 3-hour stream and kind of cut it short tomorrow. Or like I said, any cool stuff I'll put up on Twitch. But we have all this over here where they have probably a lot of games popping off. So yeah, there's a lot of things. Like, we're going to be seeing stuff over here too as well. This is for Tekken. Some folks are assuming for Tekken 8. Actually might be kind of leaked out. And apparently, though, this conference might be a little bit on the lamer side. They said there wasn't going to be as many new brand new announcements. Maybe more so just additional, like, bonus information, like bonus details, bonus brand new games, more kind of like I probably stuff like Alan Wake. We'll see. Maybe Death Stranding 2. We'll maybe see stuff like probably Mortal Kombat or Tekken. We'll probably see maybe even Call of Duty, because sometimes Call of Duty does work their ways into these events, and maybe a little bit of Nintendo stuff too, depending on what we're looking at. But just want to let you guys know we have been seeing this, and it is on the way. Now, one really sad bit of news though is that Ubisoft's kind of broke my heart. I really liked Immortals Phoenix Rising. This game was actually a genuinely good game. And, well, they now have the second game apparently canceled. And it makes me really sad, too, because, well, this game looked really cool. I didn't like Immortals Phoenix Rising, and I'm very upset with this one. But they want to go and make the game a little bit, well, bigger. They want to maybe have the game go and have, like, a different type of god style. If you guys never played this game, I actually did recommend the first one quite a bit. They would be having different types of islands, too, as well. Like, they basically had fictional versions of, like, New Zealand, Tahiti, Easter Island, and Hawaii. They had all these really cool various characters, and like they had like a brand new mix-up. They want to have an open world explorable game, kind of like Elden Ring, where you can kind of do whatever you want, and it makes me so sad because this game had so much potential. So I'm very sad about that. An upcoming Souls-like Black Myth, as well as also apparently getting some good heats over here from Gamescom, which I really want to play, and this game is looking phenomenal. So give me your thoughts and comments, all stuff down below. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below if you just want to follow, and of course, leave me your thoughts and comments, and leave a like if you guys would like.